Yeah. Yes.
Is that a carp on yours?
Yes.
Mate, I just threw the rod down on that one. I thought it was a chub. Yeah, what one's that that's gone then?
Both of them.
The ones that are in mid-water as well? Yeah. That right one was the one in the deep.
It's the single tiger
It's the
that
single
just dropped in the middle of the river, bruv. It's a lush one, mate.
Definitely £30 that. Waited all night for a bite. And two at once.
I was doubting those washing lines. So much flow out there now. And yeah, they did turn up. It is mad.
24 mil is no problem, isn't it?
Nah.
Sick.
Good job.
Good job. Got to work for him, ain't ya? What now?
Work a bit more and go on a big adventure to the Misty Mountains. Looks sick round there. I'm gutted I've got to go tomorrow. Tom's still got 4 more days, 4 more nights. My last night tonight, so I want to make it count.
It suddenly dawned on me that I was like, I've just lost Alan, like, my first look at the river, I thought, yeah, this isn't no River Chelmer in Essex. This is like the real deal. Not only is it big and it is wild and it was snaggy and the flow and everything and everything that comes with it. My concerns were confirmed. But what do you do about it? You either sit there for a week and fish half-heartedly and go home at the end of the week and look back on what could have been, or you man up and crack on. There's loads of it on the bottom out there, but it's all good. It's nice, very nice. I need to get like just 2 out perfectly now, and then maybe put 1 out here, like. Something jumped there as well. Do you see that? I don't know if it was a carp, but just lots of snags on the bottom, lots of trees, but not where I'm going to fish. It's all right. It'll do. And then maybe down this right margin, there's some snags up to that right margin. In the build up to this, I was very apprehensive about doing it. Unsure, I think is the word, about. I think I already made the wrong decision. Leaving the first spot. Why would you do that? The whole aspect of going to a public water, wild fishing as such, a river even more so, that was a bit that was daunting for me. But the whole boat side of things I wasn't too worried about. I said to myself, it's been so long that we fished together, and I wanted to do something out of my comfort zone, basically. The town we were starting in, it was quite a touristy area, so there was a tour boat that done one stretch of the river. You would get like families and couples go on it, and you had a lady on the microphone talking about the history of the river and whatnot in the area. I wasn't interested in any of that, couldn't understand what she was saying for one. But what we were interested in, it was a perfect opportunity to get on a boat, get out in the river, and just see what it was all about, yeah. I'd done very little river fishing, like at all. UK, Europe, whatever, I've done very little, not to mention a wild river in France, you know. It was pushing the boundaries, and Alan had been on these European adventures far more than I had. He had experienced a hell of a lot more. I'm very much UK based in my fishing, and I love that. I much prefer fishing in the UK. Whereas his angling has seen him travel all over the place, and I wanted to do something that we can look back on in another 10, 15 years and think, yeah, man, that was cool. Yeah, so when we were dwelling on where we were going to go and what we were going to do, the decision was finally made that we would go and fish the notorious River Lot in the south of France. Big, wild river. The guys are a lot of carp. Joachim in particular, he provides boats, you know. He gives you a platform, he gives you a home where you can base yourselves. And there's Alan with 10 rods lined up and a van load of gear. And the first thing they said to us, the guys, were, you ain't getting all this on the boat. I was like, what's that? And he was like, this is my bream fishing bag. And what's that? That's my chub fishing rods. And what's that? That's my barbel bait. Like, I need all this.
Yeah, mate. I've got 2 waggler rods for us. It's like stick float rods. We've got 4 barbel rods. Fishing.
And this was something we said from the start. It wasn't going to be just a carp fishing adventure. We wanted to make this a fishing adventure, you know. We wanted to exploit the river for everything it had, you know, and that just sums up Alan and me, I guess. And going back to our youth, like, we wanted to catch everything.
I've got it. I'm going to make a pile and let you load it. I don't think we're missing anything, bruv.
Chub and barbel rods.
Chub and barbel rods, ropes, anchors, H-blocks.
To hold my hands up, Alan done 80% of the prep. He's very good at organisation. It's one of his biggest attributes. And Alan being Alan, he has everything for every situation that you could ever name in fishing. So I was reassured that we wouldn't be going undergun.
What's that? Bits and bobs that we definitely need none of.
We managed to load it onto the boat, and Joachim would give us a little brief on how to work the boat and what to do in case of emergencies and that, which we were sort of listening to but sort of weren't, because we just wanted to get out there. And then he was just like, good luck, guys, see you next Saturday. Everything I expected and more. I knew the south of France is a beautiful place to go on holiday and or to fish. When we viewed it for the first time, I thought, yeah, this is pretty full on. Starting point, we're in a small town. I describe it as the most picturesque, beautiful sort of town in the bottom of a valley, but you travel 300-400 metres upstream and suddenly you're in the middle of nowhere and just explore, you know. There's no real rules. You can just get on that boat and go.
Maybe this corner here, it veers round to the right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Might be a good... That bit where them guys were, though, it's really fast on the far margin, wasn't it?
Really
fast. Too fast?
Not too fast, like, it's just interesting. When you got something like this, it's like quite bland. It's just a feature, isn't it? Like something different. What is it that Ollie says? When you have nothing, something is everything or something. So if you've got a bland bit of river and then all of a sudden you've got a big bend with loads of fast water.
This is getting better here as well, on the right.
It's a bend, so again what I was just saying, you know, like it's just a little bit different. The flow's going this way, So this, where it comes round this corner here, that should be the significantly deeper side, like scalloped out. And then you hit these kind of first proper snags for a long way now. And this looks good on the right, that canopy. And we're within the sort of pit distance that matey was saying. That's a big tree, bruv. Like in the water here. Start in the river in this, and I'll quickly go in the little rib and just go into this bit where they spawn. But basically, that big slack there, and just have a quick look round, just in case the water's half decent, like in terms of clarity.
By all means, go and explore, but just because you've got a boat there, don't think you have to travel through locks 10, 15, 20 kilometres away. Take your time and think about it. We decided to venture upstream, but we didn't get far. We only got, I don't know, maybe half a kilometre, something like that. And we decided the river was quite boring, to be honest, the first little bit. There was a lot of houses, a lot of Airbnbs where anglers rent out to fish from, and it gets hammered a little bit. This was at first, let's keep going. But then all of a sudden that changed. And it does that. That river lot just changes in an instant. You go from an area where it doesn't look so appealing, turn a corner and suddenly you're in this whole new world. It was on the bends. Bends were always good. Bends were a feature. And that coupled with the fact there was lots of good snags, best snags we had seen so far on our short journey out the river. And we thought this could be a good area for another night, you know. Let's have a go here.
You know, you're saying about the other side, it's fast, it's real clean gravel, so when it comes through, it rips everything out, nice clean bottom, nothing. A lot of rock on this side, and it was similar to the spot last night. It's carved its own additional channel, but I was really hoping to see like carp. I'm going straight in there, Tom. Can I kill it?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Well, it all depends what it looks like out there, doesn't it? But it was much the sameness, or did you only had a quick look, didn't you? Do you reckon that gets hammered? Is that a path along the back there? It's not really swims though, is there? So not just a river, but any lake you go to, snags are always features. There's always going to be carp there. And then as we went out into the river, we soon discovered that the depths varied all over the place. Our theory was that you had to find something flat that was flat long enough to be able to present on, and a lot of the river you could rule out straight away. The middle section wasn't really great. It was very up and down, very rocky, and probably too deep, to be honest. All right, that was a carp.
Have you finally agreed?
These fish just started jumping. We saw our first carp, and mainly sort of 100 metres to our left, 150 metres to our right, but they were in the area. One thing we did have, which was our biggest edge, and we said this weeks prior to the trip, we were like, we're going to take the underwater cameras. Something Alan's been using for a long time. I use one on my syndicate as well. It's a massive, massive edge, and just opened up a whole new world, like to spots and what you were fishing over. And also, you take into account the flow. Even if you could position a rig there without it moving, baiting up would be really hard. Getting your bait down quick enough to create a feeding situation, that would be tough. So predominantly, we decided to fish margins. The margins, obviously, the snags create slack water where natural food will then build up. They're shallower. They were more gravelly and it was more level, and you could present there throughout the week. Those were our main go-to. Fish to the features, find a level bit of gravel if you like, and those spots were either your near margin or fishing across to the bar margin. Finding a spot, positioning it correctly, ensuring it's fishing, baiting up. There's a lot that goes into it. It's hard graft. It's not like casting 6 rods out and chilling back, having a beer. Like, each rod takes time.
And you could probably do the same on this margin. Fish one in like 1.50 m, for example, and the other in like 2.5 meters, just to like try and cover more bases.
These ones should be all
Flow's real consistent now. You look across it, everything's going at the same pace, even on the margin.
Yeah.
And our margin as well. It's just real consistent the whole way across.
I just think we bait lighter.
Yeah, much lighter.
See if that made a difference.
The actual fishing itself is wild, but the fact that you've got this boat provided to you with all the facilities you need, it's got everything. You've got 2 beds, you've got all your cooking facilities, you've got a fridge. We had a bit of stability, we had a platform to go off, and it was just up to us to go and catch some carp.
Look at that, look, big un, bruv. Big un, geese. Look, did you see this set of snags?
Yeah, fish.
Controlling a boat and living off it was one thing, but actually fishing from it and living together in such a close proximity for 7 days, that was a new challenge in itself, yeah. You can't sit still for 2 minutes. We are chalk and cheese, mate. Like, how our own fishing has progressed over the last 10, 15 years, we couldn't be any different in terms of who we are or what we enjoy doing in fishing. Everyone thinks Alan's fishing all the time. Like, that couldn't be further from the truth. I can dedicate a weekend to go fishing my syndicate. He can't do that. Over the course of the years, we just separated because he was doing his thing, I was doing mine, and me and him going on one of our adventures that we used to do, yeah, that was long overdue, for sure.
Keep it low through the streets and niggas give them his pounds cause of these dope ass sounds. We run around like ships over these beats I flips. The bass is hitting so hard that you'll see these skips. Well, check it out, make sure it doesn't happen again. I got my grip on it, so turn it up to volume 10. Volume 10? Word. Like that brother from LA, Lord Radio and Hellbot. Beam streaking through the bay, we all city like the mayor. You see my name, I'm more fresh shit than Creed Taylor. The Jeep for international ladies. Like a sailor, I get drunk and bust flows to the beat like my man Jay.
I could count on one hand the amount of other anglers we saw, most of them being pike anglers. No people, no roads, no noise, just no one around. I mean, it was just nothingness.
Or are you going to drop it my left?
In front of you, dead in front of you. Ready? Water. You caught any branches?
This one up here. We'll go out.
That'd be alright, wouldn't it?
No, it's only a tiny little leaf like cutting the leaves. It's not. They spotted a lot that one.
We just sat back, it was long dark now, maybe 10 p.m. Within sort of 10 minutes, we had our first bite.
No sleep.
It is a. Mate, it's been out like 2 minutes.
3 minutes, 2 seconds.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they'll all be going tonight. And look how much of a ruckus we do.
Mate, he's down here. That's the thing. Just because it was in that branch, like. What was that realistically? 10 minutes?
Yeah, 5-7 minutes.
Last order we put out. There you go. Got to be on them, ain't you?
Small comment, £15 up, whatever.
Smaller than I thought.
Didn't matter, we'd cook with a lot of carp. We were buzzing, we were off the mark. We were doing something that was
You haven't
working.
really seen it yet.
No, I haven't really seen it.
Proper hoping it was 14.
I was praying for £15, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been a monster. But
Sick. Really sick. And so quickly. Yeah, perfect.
Like, when it got dark, it got dark. There was no light pollution. Beautiful in the day, but come nightfall, as picturesque and as beautiful it was, when you throw the whole fishing aspect into it, of having to go out into a boat with a flow at night and reposition rods or whatnot, it was quite daunting, yeah. Soon after the £15 comment, it was then Alan's turn. Something was working. We were doing something right.
We should go in the boat quickly.
yeah? Just over £40. Literally ounces, £40 4, something like that, £40 2.
Good job. What a carp, what a battle, big ups. What are you saying, Pastor?
Great. It's like they just come through, caused havoc and then off sort of thing, isn't it? That one went, but yeah, none of the others either side of it did. It's quite savage fishing, isn't it? But I guess it is everywhere. It's only going to be just as savage up there. Definitely more jumping up that way. Although we had caught fish there were so many showing further up. So we thought, you know what, let's move again. We would literally reel the rods in, start the boat engines, and we were on our way. It was brilliant. Because at the end of the day, no matter if you're fishing a club lake back in the UK or a wild river in the south of France, the fundamental rule is get on the fish and catch them. And if we were seeing loads of shows up to our right, why wouldn't we move on to them?
Just give it a little forward.
Most of my tackle that I would use in the UK, that was all put aside. We beefed up pretty much everything. We swapped from our standard 3.5 pound rods, we up to 4.5 pound scopes. Probably the best decision we made, got rid of the mono that you would use in the UK, straight on with 30-40 pound braid, 70 pound mono snag leaders, nothing below 24mm boilies, tiger nuts, big hooks. These are wild carp, you know, you don't need to be rig conscious or anything like that. The one thing you need to be thinking about is strength and reliability. We settled on just simple bog standard blowback rigs really. Thought, do you know what, there's no point in overcomplicating this. As it turned out, we were fishing a lot of the time across to the far margin, fishing close to or up to snags. With mono, you just wouldn't have stood a chance. Braid only. Yeah, and braid, everything that comes with it, the strength side of thing and the no stretch. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Mad, isn't it?
I think.
Mad.
We also had a snorkel. That was a great advantage. You put your head under the water and you could see pretty much everything. It quickly became apparent if we spent a little bit of time finding the correct spot to present a bait and ensuring that the rig was 100% presented, then that would only help us, surely.
We're into about now, glorious weather. What's it going to rise? Like 1.8 metres or something?
It would come out of nowhere. The second it rained, it didn't take a lot of rain for that water level to fluctuate and everything would change. The river would turn chocolate brown, the flow would increase. It was a constant battle, the weather. We had all elements over the course of the week.
50 pounders only, mate.
Fishing to the far margin, we were using a washing line technique because you had to. You couldn't put a line through the water, it'd be gone in the flow. It gets used in the UK more to be inconspicuous, you know, to keep your line out of the water to prevent spooking carp. But we were doing it not to prevent spooking the carp. These are wild carp. I don't think they look riggy as such. We were doing it to allow us to fish across the river to a far margin. That process entailed fishing some form of breakaway clip or rubber band in a tree close to the spot you wanted to fish. What it does, it allows you to drop your rig in position, come up straight from the rig to the tree, and then come back to your swim. And that means that you're sort of keeping all the line between you and your lead out of the water, which basically stops that line going directly all the way across the river when you wouldn't be able to hold the bottom. The flow was too much. That braid would just take away, it would move your rig and take your lead downstream. Tight clutch and a butt lock. The 4.5 pound rods, they were cranked down to the maximum. The bites were just, yeah, extreme. And that rod would be gone in seconds. Fishing this way, it made sleeping difficult. We were on edge the whole time. Even when you thought you were asleep, you were still on tensor hooks as such, because if you give them fish 2 seconds, then it's game over before it's even begun. The only way you're getting any indication is if that fish pulls away from the breakaway, picks up your rig, swims off, and the line will go slack. So you're only getting a small amount of indication, but that's enough. You have to be on it, reel down the slack, and then you're in direct contact with the fish.
Yeah! Oh, yeah, that was a bit hairy. Just as the rain starts, eh?
For the last 10 years is carp fish, but
Beautiful.
I just love it. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I grew up with Alan, and as we all know, that he's a one of a kind, not just carp fishing, angling, he's infectious. He's infectious, yeah, in terms of you can't help but get buzzed off him, be inspired by him. He has that aura about him that you know when you meet someone, usually quite quickly, if they're one of those people that you just think, yeah, like, I'll listen to you because you've clearly got it. We brought our own attributes to the table. I was quite good in the boat, and Alan had done a lot of this in the past, so full-on team effort. So why wouldn't you share the tapes, you know? That's what it's all about, surely. It's a two-man job.
Right, spots doing bites now, aren't they? Bet we are. Like a 6 pound chub.
Jurassic Park.
Unless a pike angler had come past at that time, we knew we were clear to put rods out. Apart from when we decided to take a gamble and put the washing lines out early.
I'm gonna get naked. The big fish spot in the middle,
Yeah.
that's just tiger nut, yeah?
Is that what you want?
I think so, just
Yeah.
drop tiger nut.
Yeah,
Just
with the
like
bait dropper.
minimal
We
bait,
put
yeah.
all rods out in terrible, terrible conditions, and we were now sitting back, we were changed, we were content that everything is sweet and we're gonna have a good night.
Hey, let me get the girls on FaceTime.
And lo and behold, there was a boat full of football fans cheering and singing and getting drunk. And yeah, we had to wait till pretty much neon dark before we could put the rods back out. Yeah, that was a bit of a downer.
And they got to come back.
Yeah, but they've got to come back. Who likes barbel fishing then? Me.
Carry on, do that whole stretch there. Oh, that looks good. Where those mountains and shit there. Go on, lad.
Here, Tom.
It's not chewing it.
Here, take it.
We did lose some fish, yeah, but it was just the nature of the beast, I think. If you want to get the bites, you've got to fish for these carp where they are. Most of the time, that involved fishing close to or up against snags. These are proper carp. They're wild and they're powerful. When you get a bite, it's hold on for your life type thing, even with the braid and even with the 4.5 pound rods. And a little bit of inexperience thrown in there, I guess.
Mate, when I picked the rod up and I felt it, the first couple of edge shadows are big. And they're the worst ones though, especially that close. The net was there,
Yeah, half under it.
Shook once.
He just shook his head
The net was literally half under it.
We were still on the first stretch from where we started. We hadn't even been through a lock yet, but we were already 3 days in. And suddenly when you look at it like that, you're thinking, we've only got 4 nights left. Less for Alan, because he was only there for half the week, so what do we do? Do we go and explore, or do we sit here and fish for these carp that are clearly here in front of us?
Just there. We're staying, shall we?
Just
Oh,
getting
there's loads of fish out here.
Yeah. As you're just getting a swim going 2 nights, like, and then we go, nah, let's go 20 kilometres away and start again.
So we ended up doing another night.
Might not make your film as interesting, like, but.
Wow.
That is a big jump. Go take it.
Donkey.
Rack up the speed.
Definitely snag, come on. Going for a net. Oh, he's got it. He might have it.
What time's my flight, Basil?
Oh, right, the catfish. Yeah, so this, I don't know, day 3 or 4, whatever. Alan being Alan, by now he'd caught carp, barbel, chub, bream. He was trying to catch everything he possibly could because it's Alan Blair and that's what he does. Flings his catfish rod out.
Whee! Tom was going, it's the catfish rod now. It's the catfish rod. I'm thinking, impossible. I'm dreaming. No, it's the catfish rod. Big.
And the next thing you know, he's wrestling it at 2 o'clock in the morning on the boat. It was a great moment, actually. I just sat up in my bed and I thought, I'm just going to watch this. This is going to be funny. How big is it?
Not big enough, Tom.
Not big enough.
Hey! The fishing's been good. Sometimes river fishing, man, you're having to redo the rods every hour or two. We're actually managing to keep them out all night and they're fishing. That's joy, like. Will you continue the pursuit for catfish in my absence, Tom?
No. I'd love to, but we're going to be too busy.
The fishing side of things, it suddenly dawned on me that I was like, I've just lost Alan. Like, shit, I'm going to have to do this all by myself now. I was buzzing, I got a boat to myself. Not only that, we decided we were now going to venture. If we don't go and explore now, we're going to run out of time here. I was so glad we did because we got to see bits of that river that were just breathtaking.
Am I wrong? Cause I wanna get it on till I die. Am I wrong? Cause I wanna get it on till I die. Get it on till I die. Get it on till I die. Y'all remember me?
Beautiful. Wish we could have kept going. But we got to experience a lock, which we fluffed the first few times. That was a whole new thing. We knew it was coming. We kept talking about it. We're like, we're going to have to do this at some point. And it was all one of those things that I knew secretly we didn't really want to do. We'll just worry about it when we get to it. And the second we were approaching this big weir pool in this lock, I was steering the boat thinking, we should have probably looked into this a bit more. These massive, massive locks, like, I didn't expect them to be so big. You have to raise or lower the water to allow you to then move on to the next stretch. It was a 20-minute process, but the first one probably took us about 2 hours. The second one, maybe a bit less. I felt like a pro at the end, but I certainly wasn't feeling it at the time. Quite a daunting experience, actually, yeah. The second we got into that stretch, I was like, this is going to be different here. The river got wider, the spots were completely different to the stretch previous. This was more big rocks, couldn't find any gravel anywhere. Yes, there were snags, but I just wasn't 100% with them. And the day was drawing to a close, and I just knew I had to get rods out quick time, so I ended up settling for spots that were mediocre as such.
Just seems crazy. Moved off loads of fish. We'll see what happens. We might catch more fish, yeah. We don't know until we try, do we? So different section, innit? Different fish. They might like boilies, these ones. So we're gonna do one boilie, one tiger over the back there. And I don't know. Not quite sure yet. But this one's gonna go out now. I'm ready with this one.
The bit that I'll always regret to an extent is the fact that we moved off fish. It just goes against everything that you ever taught when you're fishing, like find the fish, catch them, keep catching them until you can't catch any more. I decided to leave a productive area to go on an adventure and move away from fish that were there to be caught. And it was like starting again. It was like going to a whole new lake because each stretch on the river was completely different. The fish are moving constantly. You'll never pin them down in one place for long. However, one thing worth considering is when they often spend a time at the end of the lock and at the beginning of the lock. Oxygen levels, you know, there's fresh water pumping through constantly. It's an area they like to spend time in. And when they are moving up and down, because it's the end of a stretch, you often get two bites at the cherry as such, because they're coming past you once, spending a bit of time at the end of the lock. And we thought it would be silly to get in this boat and start travelling 15 kilometres upstream. Why don't we just fish here? The end of the lock's there. Let's go and do the night. Just fish for the first night, just over there. That's about as much as we looked into it. Get our bearings, learn the boat, learn the river. Looking back now, after doing it for a week, that first spot we decided to fish was probably the most challenging. And yeah, we struggled that night. We ended up putting a couple of rods down to our left and right and a couple long to sort of the edge of the weir pool, which really proved difficult.
Let's have a mid-city
Fishing for the first night, and we're all buzzing. First night anyways. Incredible, isn't it? Alan being Alan, he's got his barbel rods out.
A man was still a child and I have so
Couldn't resist, even on the first night, we were all shattered. But he couldn't resist a few hours barbel fishing, and that it was a good way to break the ice as such. It was nice, we were fishing. So we lost a few fish, yeah, and we bit of bad weather and small things like that. But the positives by far outweighed the negatives. Yeah, it lived up to all expectations. It was kind of like us what we used to do back in the youth. You know, we would just go summer holidays, just go on an adventure and not know what we were doing or where we were going, and just made some lovely memories and caught a few fish along the way. So
Barbel what?
Yeah, mate.
not experienced anything like that. Fishing from a boat for a whole week, like.
Would you stay in the boat again with Alan?
Absolutely not.
Am I wrong? Cause I wanna get it on till I die. Am I wrong? Cause I wanna get it on till I die. Get it on till I die. Get it on till I die. Y'all remember me?